Alright guys, we are back with some more MX versus ATV Legends. Today we've got a new update to show you. These updates have been coming out pretty regularly, which is great. I said that kind of weird, regularly, which is kind of great. And this patch has a bunch of stuff in it. It has some customization, it has weather conditions, new weather conditions, it has track changes, it has some light physics changes to it. It has some improvements to the freestyle and some other stuff. That's the main things that are in this patch, but this update should be live for you to download and check out the same day you see this video, which should be Tuesday. Yeah, customization, weather conditions, track changes, physics, and freestyle stuff. So let's jump into this and check out the customization first. Like I said, we're going to check out customization first. So we're going to head over to the locker, head to the gear, to the jersey, and we have 3 different gear sets from Alpine Stars. We have the Super Tech, North, Custom, Light, and Dark gear. Now we do have the corresponding pants to match it, and so not a ton, but most of these updates that we do get some customization, whether it's for the bike, the rider, or both. So any customization, I always say it is good customization. This is good for the game. Pretty sweet gear has been added in the form of Alpine Stars. Next up, I want to show you the new weather that has been added to the game. So we had stormy, rainy weather conditions for Thunder Valley. Well, we're finally getting them for another track, and they are a bit different. This would be the stormy weather conditions for Southwick, and they also will be for Loretta Lynn's when that track releases after Washougal, okay? So you can expect that as well. I don't have that to show you, but they said that it will be on that track with Southwick and Thunder Valley. So the weather conditions here are a bit different. They have adjusted on them. Before, the storm sounds were so loud, you couldn't hear anything else, right? So that has been changed. The way the rain and the light rain into medium rain into heavy rain, that's kind of the same, but it does look a little bit different. And then it has more of a wind whistling sound. I think it might have been on Thunder Valley too, but it wasn't. I didn't notice it as much, so I feel like that has been adjusted a bit. And what I want to do is I'll probably turn up the game a bit and then not talk over it, so you can hear what I'm trying to explain to you about the wind and the weather and the way it sounds and how it's just been improved. It is better. So here we're getting into the heavy rain. I'm gonna let you listen to it for a little bit, probably about to the end of this clip. But yeah, one more thing I want to say about it is this track it feels completely different riding this track in the rain. It was so much drag on the bike. It was pretty crazy. So here's the sounds. Listen to it, check it out, and I'll see you in the next part of the video. Okay, so here we are with some track changes, and now what did you think about the sound? In my opinion, they definitely improved it, trying to mix where you could hear the bike still with the sounds of the storm and whatnot, but let me know in the comments what you think. The sound of the wind sounded a little bit different in my opinion. good change, but I'm not totally sure. So track changes, we have Redbud, we have a couple track changes. This was a double during the race, and they wanted to make the track more in line with the way it was for real life. So they did a good job there. And then there's one more change. They added this kind of little corner jump into that rut that I don't believe was there the first time around, and then most of the rest of the track is the same. So again, I mentioned it, and MX versus ATV has been doing it, but they make these tracks before the real life races here, right? So they're going off a map or whatever, and then if they decide to make track changes to the track a few days, a few hours even before the race, MX versus ATV won't have that for the replica. So they've been going back during updates and trying to correct them to be the right way. So they did a great job here. Really cool. Love seeing track changes and making the replicas more accurate to the way they should be. So really good job. Track changes for Redbud were minor, yes, but definitely want to have it the way it should be according to the real life track. Moving on to the back half of the video, we have some physics stuff, some animation stuff, and some freestyle stuff to talk about. So physics first, there was some light physics changes, mostly to the way the rear brake is and the way the rear brake works in the game. They have a whole read-up about it, so go check out the socials. They usually post the patch notes there if you want to see and whatnot. But light physics changes, I personally didn't really notice too much of a change. It doesn't mean it wasn't a major change, and it doesn't mean that you won't notice it, but it was very minor. If I didn't know about it, I probably wouldn't have even noticed it whatsoever. So, excuse me, that's pretty minor in my opinion. And then they did some animation improvements, starting with the tear-offs. They made a pass over them to make them more smooth and not have a weird, he kind of had a hitch in his shoulder or elbow when he would pull a tear off. It's improved. It definitely has been improved. And then animations, for example, they talked about the taunt freestyle animation. The leg, I believe it was the leg or whatever, I'm not sure what part, but something was having some pretty serious clipping, right? And that's been improved, and just some more animations in general have been improved, and they made a pass over them. And then the freestyle, mainly the biggest improvement there was that, from my understanding, and I don't really know because I don't really play the freestyle side of the game, if I throw a trick, I throw one random trick while I'm riding the tracks or whatever. So I didn't know about it, but I guess you couldn't chain or link together tricks or something. I'm not sure. If you're a freestyle guy, let me know, because I didn't know. But now that has been fixed. You can now chain together, link together tricks the way you should be able to, the way you've been able to in past MX versus ATV games. So that is definitely... that was a necessity. It had to happen. I didn't know that was a problem. So it's been fixed. There was a bunch of other minor stuff that if you read the patch notes, you'll see it. But this was the main things in the patch. And this was a great patch. I mean, having more customization added to the game is always good, no matter how little it might be. It's good because we didn't have very much to begin with. But the selection of customization for both bike and rider is getting better. In most patches, we do get either bike, rider, or sometimes both bike and rider customization updates to add to that. So, good customization. Weather conditions finally being added to another track are great. Plus, Loretta Lynn's when that track releases, and they've improved them. That was very good, and I'm pretty glad they added it to Southwick, because that was one of my least favorite tracks, and now it's like way more fun. It's almost like a completely different track with the weather conditions being added to them. So really cool there. And then track changes to Redbud, that's great. I mean, they've been doing a good job at trying to update the replicas to the way they should be according to the real life race. They'll have to do some updating to Spring Creek, because that track had a few different things about it that we didn't have on the track in the game. But other than that, and that race just happened, they've been doing a great job. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. How do you feel about this patch? How do you feel about what's in it and all that stuff? But you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on the channel lately. It really does mean a lot. And until the next video, take it easy.